decreasing the severe event or the severity of these thunderstorms. Unfortunately, time will tell. We do think the wind field is going to be an important factor in keeping the storms going over the next couple of hours, which is the reason we now have extended coverage for you on Channel 13 and WTHR+. We do anticipate several hours of that potential of severe storms, and the reason the tornado watch goes until 9 o'clock. Again, traffic moving along. Just keep in mind, if you're in the tornado watch area and we've got that potential for damage, it becomes more difficult to see as we lose daylight, trees, power lines down. That can be a problem as you're driving, especially as you get out into some of those country roads where we don't have big street lights. And just a concern for our crews as well. We've got Sam Johnson and her photographer down in the Bloomington area near the airport, and we will be keeping up with them as that storm that was confirmed tornado warning. It is a tornado. Wow. I mean, you can just see from the picture here, a live view in Bloomington, how volatile the skies look. Lightning there in the distance. Again, we talked with the crew, we talked with Sam to make sure that they have a safe place to get into, which is the reason we may not hear a live report from her until it is safe to do so, because you can see the weather that is coming in. They are near the airport in Bloomington, looking at the structure of the storm as it is. Believe it or not, so they're in Bloomington. They're looking at that storm that is now a county away in Worthington, in Greene County. So really showing the structure of the storm and the intensity of the storm as it makes its way. We do have Sam? Okay, sure. We can check in with Sam before it gets too crazy for her to be out and about. Sam, what can you tell us?
Angela, we did find a safe place to be for now. We are in the car. We're actually in the back parking lot of one of the fire departments here, Station 29, that is right next to the Monroe County Airport. If we can, I think I can flip this camera around and show you what we are seeing right now at the airport. A lot of lightning. The sky has significantly darkened just in the last few minutes as these clouds start to roll into Monroe County. We are in a safe place. We've talked to the firefighters here. They are also monitoring this storm, of course, as first responders. So we will be here at the fire department watching over this airport, a perfect viewpoint to watch this storm roll into Monroe County. No rain yet. The wind did pick up just a little bit. Temperatures have dropped, and we're starting to see now for the first time lightning from Monroe County. So Angela, we'll send it back to you guys for now. Again, we are in a safe place and we'll continue to monitor the storm from here.
Thank you so much, Sam. And yes, safe place definitely to be. She's in a vehicle, but in a fire department. So a vehicle is never a safe place to be in the event of a tornado. So in a vehicle, but inside in a safe place. You definitely need to be in a structure when we're dealing with this. A new tornado warning for you. This is going to include parts of Morgan County. So this is the storm that I mentioned that at times has had a bit of a hook on it. Sean we'll get to him in just a second, doing some kind of in-depth analysis on this one. But the tornado warning may have rotating part of the storm approaching Brooklyn right now. So if you live in Brooklyn, safest part of your home now, away from windows and doors, lowest level, tornado warning until 7 p.m. Heavy rain, hail, wind in Mooresville, but the rotating part of this storm is approaching Brooklyn. What are you seeing, Sean?
Yeah, definitely right over Morgan County. This is one we were worried about. I'm trying to get an NDOT camera up there with not much success right now, but so this is going to be for central Johnson County. What we've been worried about, these southern storms on the southern side of all this, is where you're going to get the strongest rotation. So right now this warning, if you're in the polygon here, Brooklyn, Bethany, Crestview Heights, Brookmore, Waverly Woods. And the concern, in my opinion, is going to be right there near that little, I don't want to call it a debris ball just yet, but right there is where I'm a little bit concerned about. That's going to be moving quickly to the northeast. So it's already cutting across or heading toward 69. It's north of 69, heading toward Fields. That is the area that we're a bit concerned about. I'm going to get in a closer radar here and see if I can get a little bit of a tighter velocity signature. Yeah, the radar, unfortunately, is just kind of where it is in relation to all this. Not going to give us a great view, but that's the area of concern there with this new. It's radar. You might want to point out right now it is a radar rotation confirmed or radar indicated tornado versus something that's been confirmed just yet. With that said, lowest level away from windows, middle part of your home, and with that storm that we had farther south, Ange, we did have some funnels earlier near Switz City. That thing's moving into Monroe County as well. So unfortunately we got several more hours where we're going to have this strong wind field feeding into this. I will do a track on this. These have been moving at about 35 miles per hour here this evening. So let's do a track, take that out. From there, I know you're not in the polygon just yet, but and let me adjust the speed on this. If you're watching there in Greenwood, that gets you at around 705, New Whiteland 708, if it holds, if the rotation continues to hold. Southport at 702. So we could see an expansion of this warning as well.
And speaking of expansion of warnings, Sean, we do have a new one for Bloomington. Bloomington now under a tornado warning. This is the latest on that. It enters the western sections of Monroe County. So Monroe County, western half, now under a tornado warning until 7:15. This is the tornado warned storm. It was a confirmed tornado at times in southeastern Illinois into Sullivan. They've gone tornado warning for now into Ellettsville, Bloomington, Clear Creek, just south of Spencer. So this is the reason our continuing coverage, we wanted to make sure you had a heads up, plenty of time to prepare Bloomington and the rest of Monroe County for a tornado warned storm that is pushing just east of Worthington as it gets ready to make its way into the western sections of Monroe County. So lowest level, away from windows and doors. This storm may contain a large hail core on the north side, may contain some damaging winds, and still the potential that it produces a tornado. It is traveling east at about 35 miles per hour. We will do a track on this one. We've been giving you an early heads up, Bloomington, for this reason. This by far is one of the stronger storms that we're keeping an eye on. You're going to have the rain first, the strongest part of the storm. So I'll do kind of the leading edge of some of the wind with this and track it out to the east at about 35 miles per hour. So as it goes east, it'll be into Ellettsville at 7:03. You're going to have rain and a little bit of wind ahead of that, but the damaging part of this storm just after 7 o'clock into Ellettsville, Clear Creek, Bloomington, the IU campus as well. And if it would hold together just before 7:30 into Lake Lemon. So it's going to come out of Greene County and move across Monroe County in the next half hour or so. So we encourage you to be in the safest part of your home. If you live in Monroe County, you are now under a tornado warning. That warning goes until 7:15. Let's go north of this location because we do have additional storms to get to as we have additional tornado warnings. So we'll clear that warning and then just kind of take you on a tour up north. We've been monitoring that storm that Sean pointed out in Morgan County. Tornado watch until 9. That has been extended north. Here's the new tornado warned storm for northern Morgan County. And Sean also pointed out parts of Johnson County. So this one is tracking off to the east at about 35. Not quite as intense, but as Sean mentioned, it's close to the radar, so it becomes a tad more difficult to get the complete structure. We do have thunder over downtown Indianapolis. We can hear that. The rain and storms have arrived in Marion County. No warnings from Marion County yet, but keeping an eye on this storm that is in between Brooklyn and Mooresville now, headed east-northeast. This most likely will impact northern Johnson, southern Marion counties in the next half hour. That tornado warning for Morgan County until 7 o'clock this evening. Let's come out a little bit Tornado warning continues for you, Brazil, but that cell is pushing east of you, and that's going to expire here in a couple of minutes at 6:45. They've gone severe thunderstorm warnings from the National Weather Service for the storm that was in Rockville. We talked about this, that was under a warning. It is now into portions of Montgomery County and the northern sections of Putnam County. So heavy rain, Crawfordsville, you're under the warning. Newmarket, Ladoga, Rochdale, Bainbridge, that's a severe thunderstorm warning for you. That warning will go until 7:15, and then south of there also have some severe thunderstorm warnings for the southern sections of Putnam County. That's going to include the Cloverdale area until 7 o'clock, and then easy to see where we have the red. They definitely stand out, the tornado warnings that we continue to monitor. Structure not as intense as it was as it approaches Bloomington. We hope that trend continues, but please, if you are in Bloomington or Ellettsville, safe place of your home. Also, those of you in northeast of Martinsville, in Brooklyn and the Mooresville area, just be aware that tornado warned storm continues. It was a tornado warned storm in Brazil. They've gone severe thunderstorm warning for you, Greencastle. But as we've mentioned, due to the wind field that continues to increase across the area, any storm could quickly rotate. So treat any warning, just any warning, get into the safest part of your home, lowest level away from windows and doors. We'll do a little track on this and a little more analysis before we get back over to Sean. It's getting dark, so our crews are going to have a little difficulty in seeing and showing you what they're dealing with. But we've been monitoring the velocities in this area, and so if this one is still producing a tornado and or rotating, that is going to be just to the southeast of Freedom. It is getting ready to cross the county line, and it's that area there that will move toward Clear Creek, Bloomington, and Ellettsville in the next 15 minutes or so. So fairly intense rotation still indicated here. The warning has been radar indicated, not confirmed from the National Weather Service, but obviously an intense storm that is just south of Freedom, still rotating, at least that potential, as it heads toward Ellettsville, Bloomington, and Clear Creek within the next 15 minutes. Let's travel north of this location, and then we'll get over to Sean. So they have gone severe thunderstorm warning. That tornado watch was pushed north to include Marion County, depending on the community you live in. Severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado watch. Sometimes the sirens will sound, and it's for the reason we just mentioned. With little to no warning, a regular thunderstorm may rotate and quickly produce a tornado in the environment that we're dealing with, and that's why the sirens sometimes will sound. But we've gone severe thunderstorm warning now for the southern part of Marion County, and we do have a drive cam to show you. I'll tell you the warning for Marion County goes until 7:30. Let's head out to that drive cam. Maybe. I'll keep talking.
We are still
and
in Monroe County.
Okay, I'll keep going. This is Sam's view. So Sam and her crew are in a safe place near the fire department and near the airport in Monroe County. You can see the lightning flashes. They've got a camera pointed out of their vehicle. Their vehicle is in a safe place because a car is never safe. A mobile home, not safe. You need a sturdy structure. So as we were talking about the severe weather event tonight, we made sure our crews were aware of that. Lots of lightning flashes, and as they flash, you can kind of see that storm structure, Sam.
Yeah, we are just east of that airport here in Monroe County, and I can tell you the lightning show has taken place here. That cell that started that warning is really north of us now, so we're kind of on the south side of that. In fact, if I look to my south, it's nothing but blue sky, so we're kind of in this weird in-between phase. But like you mentioned, a lot of lightning now as we look kind of toward the north and to the west here. But we are safe here. It's still not a lot of rain or wind, just quite the lightning show at this point. So that's the latest from here in Monroe County. Of course, we'll keep you updated as we learn more.
We appreciate that very much, and appreciate the fact that you're taking the storm seriously and in a safe place. It is quite the light show down there in Monroe County. If there's any good news at this point, it's the fact that the National Weather Service has not gone confirmed tornado warning on this. That doesn't mean this one won't produce a tornado. So Sam is in Bloomington. She's waiting on the heavy rain and the wind. It's getting closer to her. If it's still rotating, that is going to be in this area here. In fact, we'll go in a little closer. So she's at the airport. And what she's seeing as she looks south, she was saying it's relatively quiet. What she's seeing as far as that light show is the storm off to her west that has moved now just east of Freedom. This is going to head into Ellettsville, the IU campus, Bloomington, and Clear Creek with the tornado warning until 7:15. So take shelter now if you are in one of those areas as we continue to keep an eye on that storm and this tornado warned storm as well, although again, Sean, close to the radar, so a little difficult to see the structure at this point, but not as intense. We do have some of the heavier rain starting to enter southern Marion County, and Marion County is now under a severe thunderstorm warning until 7:30 this evening. And depending on your community, with a severe thunderstorm warning and the tornado watch, sometimes those sirens will sound.
Yeah, and so we've kind of positioned some cameras here. We're going to show you the latest. Again, severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado warning, a little sliver of a tornado warning for parts of Morgan County. Okay, if we're going to get anything with in terms of rotation, it's going to be in this zone right here. So I want to show you a camera I've got positioned. This is near I-69 Wicker Road, and as Angela mentioned, you kind of have to wait to see what lightning flash. We're losing daylight, but you can almost make out the base of the cloud there at the top. And then from there, I want to show you our tower camera, which we have pointed to the south and southwest as well to give you a couple of different vantage points. So we know it's loud and rumbling. Let's do our best to dissect the radar, let you know who's at most risk and who's not. I've circled that zone. Let me clean this all up and show you our shear rate product. Take off the telestrator here. So there's the tornado warning polygon. Still includes Waverly and Bluffs. And then beyond that, at least right now, we will see if that changes. That is all severe thunderstorm warning for Southport, Beech Grove, Greenwood, including us here at the WTHR studios here in downtown. If you guys want to split box and leave that N.2 up or whatever, that's fine as well. Tornado watch has been expanded, I should say, to the north. It includes Marion County, includes Hendricks and Hancock counties, and that watch will go until 9 p.m. Now, farther to the west, those are just severe thunderstorms. I say just, but those are going to be marching in. So we got two areas of concern, and then we've got this big storm that's had a history of tornadoes earlier. This is the one that's moving into Samantha Johnson's location there at the Monroe County Airport. That is a radar indicated rotation tornado warning, in addition to sizable hail, possibly nearing golf balls. And that hail core looks like it's going to go very close to Sam's location there at the airport, and it's moving almost due east. And what I mean by the hail core is those dark shades you see on the radar right here. Every time, Angela, that we've had that black color on radar, that's been some severe hail. And so that, I believe that will likely verify. I'm going to take off the lightning to clean up the radar, show you the storm relative velocity. So now we're looking for that red and green to each other, and we have it. I'm going to get a little bit closer. So this is about to enter into Monroe County. Going to leave Greene County, go Monroe. Again, up to now, and I will check here, but up until now, we haven't had a confirmation with this just yet. I hope that holds. But large hail is definitely going to be in place with this, and it's rotating, so we know at any given time this thing could produce a tornado. So if you're in the Bloomington IU's campus, we're going to have Samantha take her shelter. She needs to get in her safe spot at her location there until this storm can move east, but she's going to keep tabs on it. Let me do a storm track on that, and while I'm doing that, Ange, I will let you know that they did they let the Morgan County tornado warning.
Okay.
That has they've allowed that to expire, but this is the strongest radar rotation that we have. These have been generally moving about 30 to 35 miles per hour. So that gets it, give or take, ballpark, a little bit after 7 o'clock there at IU. Lake Lemon, if it holds together, 7:30. The reason we say downstream, because this is the far southern storm. If anyone's going to survive with rotation, that's going to be the one. That's the one we were worried about, Angela, going into today. We knew there was some potential for a couple of cells to have persistent updrafts, strong updrafts, and right now it's been that one right there.
Yes, and the reason we anticipate this to be an ongoing severe weather event, there are additional cells developing across parts of Illinois that do have warnings, severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings on them. We're hoping now that we've lost daylight that may aid in some of the instability. However, we are watching that wind field really increase, and the reason we think a lot of these storms are going to continue to go over the next several hours despite the fact that we've lost daylight. Sean said this one was allowed to expire. We will go from north to south and get you caught up on the radar, and just remind you that the tornado watch from Marion County south goes until 9 p.m. We expect the severe weather threat to continue. If there's any piece of good news, they haven't gone confirmed tornado warning. The bad news, we've lost daylight. It's very difficult now for spotters that are out in the field to see any severe weather that might be happening or any rotation. We have another live pick. Perfect. Let's take it. So we are, I believe, Sam's camera down in Monroe County. The rain has arrived. The light show does continue in this location as we continue to track the severe threat. I'm sorry, repeat that.
She's inside.
Perfect. A reminder, and we knew she would be, a reminder that our crew is inside. They left the camera outside, and that's really what you should do. Never safe to be out, especially in a situation like this where it's dark and you can't see the intensity of the storm coming your way. The lightning helps light up the cloud structure from time to time, but the rain has obviously arrived, and good to know that Sam and our crew is safe and inside. We just left the camera outside so we could show you a little bit of what we're dealing with. The rain has arrived in Bloomington. The rotation that Sean pointed out is crossing that county line now into the western sections of Monroe County, headed into Ellisville, Bloomington, and Clear Creek. I'm going to widen this out just a little bit because we gave you lots of heads up, Bloomington, by a half hour, 45 minutes at least, that this one was coming your way. So we're going to do the same for places like Nashville and Columbus, just in case this one decides to hold together and continue to continue to rotate. So I'm going to do the leading edge of the rotation part of this storm, not necessarily where the rain is falling. And then we'll go out at about 30 miles per hour. So this is a view of the IU campus, all lit up on this late February night. And as we track severe storms, not a winter storm, but severe storms. It's dark, so it's a little hard to see storm structure. They've got lots of lightning and lots of heavy rain now in the Bloomington area, and it will continue for quite a while, for at least the next half hour before this storm clears the Monroe County. But Monroe County still under a tornado warning. It will eventually work its way into the western parts of Bartholomew County, but that's going to be closer to the 7:30, 8 o'clock time frame. Yeah.
Emergency manager in Monroe County confirming tornado 8 miles to the west of Bloomington.
Okay.
So this is going to change, though. It'll be a radar confirmed tornado here, or excuse me, it'll be a confirmed tornado warning coming up in a moment.
Okay, and so that was the area of rotation. You're saying 8 miles west of the IU campus?
Affirmative.
Okay, so that's going to be this area right here, the rotating part of this storm, and now confirmed. And actually, you can see as the radar updates, Sean, a little tightening of that rotation. Let's go in a little closer. So This is now just east of Hendricksville, approaching Kirby. The purple you see, Sean called it, National Weather Service confirmed tornado, because now we have emergency managers in the area.
Yep.
Eyes on a tornado just to the south of Whitehall, and then just 8 miles west of Bloomington and the IU campus. The rotation is approaching Kirby right now. Let's slide this over just a little bit. So Kirby, Garden Acres, Hunter Switch, and then IU campus, Bloomington, Bradview, Sunny Slopes, and there's Clear Creek we've been mentioning. So right now it looks like the rotation, Ellettsville, is going to stay just to your south. But if you are in this area, in and around Bloomington and the IU campus, you need to be in the safest part of your home, away from windows and doors. College campuses do a great job with alerts. Most likely that alert has gone out to the students, if not with the tornado warning itself, now with the confirmed tornado warning. So if you've got a student down there and you want to give them a quick text, a quick heads up, it is 8 miles away, and now a confirmed tornado warning moving into Bloomington in just the next few minutes. We've got that confirmed tornado warning. This one was allowed to expire, and then elsewhere, it's a severe thunderstorm warning for Marion County. We've got some intensification of that storm that's just south of downtown. That is near Southport.
That rotation, let me circle it right here. It's going to be coming through Highland Village, coming through Leonard Springs, and I mean, it is on a beeline. It is on a beeline for Bloomington. All right, so that's, yeah, that. We've got a Bloomington camera. If you guys can pop it up, maybe I can pop it up. Give me a second here.
And Sean, they have extended that confirmed tornado warning.
We're going to have to, for sure.
Yes, to now include the eastern part of Monroe County and now into the western sections of Brown County. So I'll let Sean find that camera for us, because we're going to need to keep an eye, really close eye. As we do this, maybe we can have an extra set of eyes on that IU stream, live stream, and the camera coming out of NDOT. They've extended now into the western sections of Brown County, just west of Nashville. Now confirmed tornado warning as the rotation gets ready to approach the IU campus as we speak, and the city of Bloomington. Let's go in a little closer. Sean said Highland Village, Leonard Springs, Van Buren Park. Here's State Road 45. Kirby, the rotation now is just east of you, up toward Hunter Switch, and you can see just how close this is to Bloomington. In fact, we've got a tool that we can measure, because the original report from EMA, emergency managers, came in that it was 8 miles from Bloomington. I'd say it's now about 3, if not less than 3. So you do not have much time if you live in Bloomington and the rest of Monroe County to take shelter and let this storm pass you by. It does have a history of producing a tornado, which is the reason we now have confirmed tornado warnings that extend into eastern Monroe County, into western Brown until 7:30. There's that camera, Bloomington.
Yeah,
Bloomington shot.
that's the Bloomington NDOT camera. You know, I can't stress this enough, friends. If you are in that polygon, this is a different type of tornado warning. Okay, I'm afraid to say that, and unfortunately, it is going to go through a pretty highly populated area. So you need to take this very serious. You need to be in that lowest level, away from windows. A basement's preferable, but if not, it's got to be in the lowest level, interior portion. This is a very dangerous situation unfolding here, as this is going to cut right across Bloomington and keep on going. All right, so we've got a tornado debris signature, that shear marker right there. That's what that's indicative of. And as I get in closer, this is, so there, it's going to be moving right across I-69 and going into the campus there. So there's 3rd Street, there's State Road 46, and there's 48. All right, let me show you the velocity signature on this, as strong as it's been all evening long. And that's why the Weather Service has put a tag on this with considerable damage potential, because of what we because of the emergency managers and because, frankly, what the radar is showing us there, Angela. So we know that Samantha Johnson's in her safe spot, and when she can, after this gets to the east of her, she'll be able to give us at least an update on her assessment of what's going on. Can we pop up, guys, the live shot from the Bloomington from the campus there? Okay, as this gets a little bit closer, and I'm watching so this is, again, this thing is going to be moving right into the campus. Rotation is still just west of the city, not by much.
No, look like 3 miles at most.
Yep, and we're getting the radar, or the airport near where Samantha is, registering 70 mile per hour wind. That likely will go up here with this confirmed. So there's, we give you different tornado warnings. Let's go to the radar here. Sometimes it's radar indicated rotation. Sometimes we'll have a spotter indicating it. This is a combination of, this tornado's been observed. So this is a confirmed tornado warning with a considerable damage tag to it. So that's a little heightened level of a tornado warning. We don't get those often, and when we do, that's why our tone likely is going to change a little bit with this. This thing's, it'll be interesting to see if we start to get some damage in, and we're going to get an update on the radar here in a moment, Angela. But no doubt, this is a dangerous, particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning. We don't get a lot of those. This is going to be moving right across Bloomington. Now, could it lift up? It could. We just don't know when and if that's going to happen. But we do know that the strong rotation now has moved over I-69. It's moving into Bloomington and IU's campus, and moving, eventually will move toward the east here. I want to put on the shear rate just so you can see where that strong, we're going to have damage out of this, just a matter of how much, how extensive, and exactly where. But as I mentioned before, when we get those red shades there, we for sure get some damage out of that. And you see that moving through a very populated area. This is not out in the middle, of rural area. This is a very populated zone. And I hope everyone, Ange, is heeding the warning here. Get into your safe spot, and by doing so, cover your head, whether it's with a pillow or bicycle helmet. Get away from windows, and just get as low as you can until we can get this to your east here. And down the road, speaking of east, that tornado warning goes all the way into Brown County. So if you're in Nashville, you should be watching this too. You got a lot of time before it gets there. You should be watching this too. But this is right over the heart. We're getting some reports. So there's the IU. We're gonna, we might want to. I tell you what, if you can, and I hate to put you on the fly, but if you can do radar one side and that camera on the other, let's do that, because this thing is moving right into the campus there. So, okay, all right. Well, I tell you what, if you want to take that camera full for the time being, you can do that. But there you have it. So that is that, we'll be able to see what this thing is doing. So that is a live camera that Indiana University allows us to use. And so we'll be able to get a vantage point as this rotation is moving right over the city here.
Yeah, the visibility obviously has lowered with the intensity of the rain, and what we're looking for, and very difficult to see at night, any debris that might be flying around with the rotating part of this storm, if in fact the storm is still producing a tornado. Remember, it was emergency managers in Monroe County that spotted this, went confirmed tornado warning from the National Weather Service. Visibility has dramatically reduced because of the heavy rain. This is a live view over the IU campus in Bloomington. Now we're thinking, at least according to the radar, dealing with the strongest part of the rotation, if not just now getting on the back side of it. So here's IU, here's Bloomington, Cascade, if you're familiar, up toward Marlin Hills. And as it rotates, or updates, I should say, the radar, you can see the back edge of the rotating part of this thunderstorm is right over Bloomington, IU, back through Hunter Switch, Highland Village, Broadview, up into Marlin Hills, Dolan. Just be aware, this continues to move off to the east, and we continue to see confirmed tornado warnings in advance of this storm. This was a cell that we've been tracking for easy the last, well, it's 7 o'clock, for a couple of hours now. It was confirmed tornado in parts of Illinois, confirmed tornado warning into Sullivan in the southwestern part of our state, and this cell all alone continues to be really the worst of the worst at this point. Lake Lemon under a tornado warning. The confirmed tornado warning comes into the western sections of Brown County, just to the east of Nashville. We gave you a lot of heads up, Bloomington, that this one was coming in. We will do the same for those of you east of this location. I'm going to track. Let's go leading edge of the heavy rain, just to make sure everyone is fully aware of what's coming. If it continues to move east at 35, it's into Columbus just before 8 p.m., into Hope just after 8 p.m. That will put it moving across Brown County, the northern half, in the next half hour, 40 minutes or so, and then into Bartholomew County. So if you live in Columbus, you live in Hope, the rest of Bartholomew County, into Brown County, Nashville included, stick with us. This is a storm that we continue to keep a very close eye on. Our crew, including Sam Johnson and her photographer, in a safe place in Bloomington, and they will stay there until the back edge gets east of them, and then she'll be able to get out, assess any damage. She has kind of partnered up with the fire department down there to be in a safe place. First responders would be ones that would go out on a night like tonight if there is damage, trees down, power lines down, just to make sure everyone in their community is safe. Not safe to be out on a night like tonight, especially if you are south into Monroe County, Brown County, we think eventually into Bartholomew County. So it's an early heads up, Columbus, that this storm at least has the potential to continue and have an impact as it moves east. Very heavy rain over downtown. This is having a local impact as well. Heavy rain, potential for hail and some damaging winds. Severe thunderstorm warning, northern Johnson, southern sections of Marion County, Beech Grove included, Cumberland and Acton included. This heavier rain will move up toward Lawrence and Castleton, impact New Pal, Greenfield, and Fortville as it continues to move north and east. This is part of a larger area of rain and storms. Most of this will stay below severe limits. It's simply a little more stable the farther north you go, and as that wind field increases, that's only going to come so far north. Kokomo, Tipton, you've got rain. Frankfort, rain. Potential of hail and some wind east of Crawfordsville, east of Greencastle. So really our focus is the one cell southeastern sections of Marion County, and then of course the confirmed tornado warning still in effect for Bloomington and just west of Nashville. Sam, let's check in with you.
Well, guys, we are safe here at the fire station, Station 29. We did take shelter in one of the closets here as that storm passed over us. Again, we are so close to the Marion County Airport, just east of that airport. That storm has now passed us. You can see the lightning show going on here behind us still as this moves closer to the campus of Indiana University. The firefighters here at the department actually got calls. They've gone out of the department now. We're hearing more calls come in. Still no confirmed reports of damage as this storm continues to move through Monroe County. But of course, we'll continue to stay here. We are safe at the fire department. More to come here in just a few minutes. You can see what's going on here behind us. Still as this moves to our east. We'll keep you updated.
Thank you so much, Sam. Glad you and your crew are safe. And we said it, fire department, first responders, they're going to be the first out the door on a night like tonight to assess any damage in the community, help any folks that might be dealing with that damage, trees, power lines down, that sort of thing. And that's the reason preparation is so important. Sam was part of a big meeting we had here at the station ahead of today's severe weather. And it's that kind of preparation that we encourage you and your families to take in the event of severe weather. I know it's the end of February. We shouldn't be tracking storms like this, but proof we can get severe weather and tornadoes in any month of the year in central Indiana. So it's always a good idea to keep that preparation top of mind, especially when we know in advance that severe weather is coming. Reason we went weather impact alert day for today a couple of days ago. Confirmed tornado warning. The worst of the rotation is now pushing just east of Bloomington. It is headed into Lake Lemon. I'm going to go even closer. So we're going to be concerned with the area Hoosier Acres, New Unionville, Woodville Hills, Belmont, and then north of there into Unionville. So this is going to be that area in between Bloomington. For now, just north of Lake Monroe. Here's Lake Monroe, here's Bloomington, and the rotation is now just east of Bloomington and headed east just south of Lake Lemon, and right now looks like it's going to move right toward the Nashville area. So if you live in Nashville, in Brown County, this storm is moving in within the next 15-20 minutes or so. So we encourage you, even though you're on the edge of this confirmed tornado warning, to go ahead and be prepared to take shelter as this storm approaches. That is the confirmed tornado warning. Elsewhere, we've got one sliver left of the severe thunderstorm warning until 7:30 for the southeastern section of Marion County. Really intense storm now pushing just northeast of Beech Grove. This is headed into Lawrence, east side of Marion County, heads up New Pal and Greenfield, Fortville. This one complex of rain and lots of lightning, maybe a little wind and hail as well, tracking off to the east and will impact northern sections of Hancock County, southern and southeastern sections of Hamilton, in addition to the eastern part of Marion County. It is a little more stable the farther north you go, dealing with heavy rain, maybe some small hail out a few of these thunderstorms, but obviously our main concern continues to center around that confirmed tornado warning in effect for the eastern sections of Monroe County and into portions of western Brown County. I do want to switch the radar up just a bit and take you out a little bit farther, because we want to make sure that we're keeping an eye on any additional storm development. What we're hoping for is we've lost daylight. We've had some storms already. So what we see across Illinois, we hope it weakens, but we've got to keep an eye on it. Just southwest of Terre Haute, additional storms that have prompted tornado and severe thunderstorm warnings at this hour. So we anticipate that we've got several more hours of severe weather coverage, especially if the storm that is in Bloomington now, or just east of Bloomington, continues to hold together. Obviously, Sean, this is the one that we have been most concerned with over the last couple of hours. We started tracking it late this afternoon, early this evening.
Yeah, and so at this point, and they just now shaved off the backside of the polygon here. At this point, it's exiting the core of Bloomington. Rotation is still a little close there to the IU Health Bloomington Hospital right there off of 45, but it's going to encounter less homes and more forest as it moves east. Rotation is weakened a little bit for now. We will stress that that does not mean that it's done. This thing likely will continue to cycle as it's by itself on the southern fringe of all this. I'm going to take the radar back, and if you've been watching our coverage here this evening, you know that Samantha Johnson has been in Bloomington at the Monroe County Airport, which is west of Bloomington. And I want to take this thing back, and you'll see that, and they measured a 70-mile-per-hour gust. So this went right across IU's campus in Bloomington. It's going to be a combination of a couple of things. Wind damage, whether it's tornado, and hail, large hail. We know that for a fact. Show you the radar velocity from earlier. That's when they had to up the language on the tornado warning to make it what we call a PDS, particularly dangerous situation tornado warning, as it was moving into Bloomington there. And you can see that the rotation not necessarily as tight as it was. Good news for now. I would love to say it's going to stay that way. We just can't. So this tornado warning continues west of Nashville for the time being. So this polygon, again, is over it's a lot of forest area. Speaking of Samantha Johnson, I want to get down to her. She's going to give us assessment, unfortunately, of some damage. Sam.
Yeah, just a little bit, Sean. I'm able to step out of the fire station now for the first time. I'm going to turn this around so I can show you a little bit. Up here, we have a few shingles that have flying off the side of this building. This safe place sign, if I can show you, it's dark, is totally bent up. This side of it is torn. And then if you take a look at the flags behind us, I know it's dark, bear with me. These flags were not torn like that when we got here earlier this evening. I can tell you the temperature is significantly colder than when we first were here earlier this afternoon. It's also still very windy, but I can now see the stars above us. So we do have a clear sky now at the Monroe County Airport, here at the fire station, but it's still very dark. Obviously, debris is now a concern, and we do have a little bit here at the firehouse. So we'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Okay.
That's scary, Sean, or Sean and Sam. To have those flags not be torn when you get there, and what you just showed us. Glad you're only taking a few steps out, because as Sam mentioned, it's dark. So first responders that are going out now to assess damage are doing so in the dark. So we encourage you, if you don't have to be out, don't, because it's going to be very difficult to see trees down, power lines down, and from what we just saw with Sam in Monroe County, there is some damage at the fire station there, and she knows now that crews are out assessing other damage in Monroe County, and not surprising, showing monitoring the strength of this storm as it moved through Bloomington. They have gone tornado warning instead of confirmed. At this point doesn't really matter. Nashville, Nineveh, Columbus. Remember, we were giving you the early heads up into Bartholomew County that this storm is coming your way between now and about 8 o'clock. Nashville, it is approaching quickly, and tornado warning. This is a new one that's going to include the eastern sections of Brown and a good part of Bartholomew, and that's